Hello, it's Jay here again and welcome to another tutorial. So in this lesson we're going to actually create the color randomizer script. So with that said, let's create a new C# script and I'll just name it color randomizer. And then we'll open it for editing. And it's going to be a fairly short script, but we're going to begin with 3 variables. The first one's going to be public and we want texture 2D. And we want an array of textures. We want more than one, so open and close the square brackets. Underscore, and we'll give this naming convention of colored textures. Close the line off. Into the comments, create an array to store all the colored textures. Public, and we're going to use renderer, and this is going to be an array also. Underscore renderer as the naming convention. This time we're going to put create an array to store all renderers within each block. And public, and this time we just want texture underscore main texture. Close that off. And let's say defines naming convention for the main texture to apply. And that's all we need for variables. Now I've made these 2 public. These can actually be set to private, but I'll put them as public so we can see them working in the inspector. This does need to be public, the first one, because we will need to assign the textures. But with that said, we're going to come to the void start and we're going to say renderer. This is our array. And it's going to equal get components in children. And we want to open and close brackets, and we want to get the renderer. Come to the end of the line, open and close brackets again, close the line off. And we're just going to say renderer equals all how shall I word this? Renderer equals all renderer components within the game object. I'll just downsize that for now. We're going to come to the resources. We're going to just drag and drop any shape will do. So what we're doing is we're saying renderer get all the renderers in the child game object. So this is the parent, the empty game object with just the name. and then the child game objects are all the cubes. And we're saying grab the renderer component for each one of these cubes. And that's why we need an array, because there's going to be more than one. We'll come below the line we've just done. We're going to, let's define another texture 2D underscore random texture, and it's going to equal underscore colored textures. That's this array here. We're going to open and close the square type of brackets again. We're going to say random dot range. We're going to open and close brackets. Inside this brackets, we're going to say comma, 0 comma, and then we want underscore colored textures dot length. We'll come to the end of the line and we'll close that off. We will break this up for commenting, so we'll say, let's say new variable random texture equals let's have a look. Best place to sort of break that up. So it equals random a random texture from the underscore colored textures array from the first texture to the last within the array. So it's pretty self-explanatory. We're just defining another variable and we're saying it's equal to this array. Pick a random texture from that array, and we're saying that basically includes 0, which will be the first texture throughout the entire length of the array. Once we've done that, we'll say underscore main texture will equal that random texture. We'll close the line off. Set main texture to equal the underscore random texture. So now we have just a singular random texture from this array assigned to this variable. Now we want to say assign this texture to all the renderers. So we'll say for each, we'll open and close brackets. We're going to say renderer underscore temp. I'll just put temp render in renderer. Into the comments, so we'll say for each renderer component within the underscore renderer array. Once we've done that, we can say underscore temp ren. We'll say dot material dot set texture. We're going to open and close brackets. We're going to say underscore. We want to change the main texture. So inside these brackets, we're going to put quote marks. We're going to say underscore main text. This will reference the main texture. Just be wary, it does require a capital M and a capital T. Otherwise, this will not work. After that, we'll say comma. And the texture we want to assign is the main texture. Come to the end of the line. We'll close that off. Let's have a look. Set texture for each renderer. And set that texture to be the underscore main texture. And we'll save that off there. We're going to leave it there for this lesson. Now, hopefully, as I've done the comments, I've explained it well enough that you understand. Of course, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. I will always try my best to answer you. But we're going to leave it here. In the next video, we're not going to do any coding. We're just going to do testing of the code we've created so far. Hopefully, once you see it all working, it will make a little bit more sense. But we've got some setup to do within Unity itself. So we'll do that in the very next video. So as always, I hope you enjoyed this lesson. I hope to see you next time. And until then, as always, bye for now.